Number 2, solve for f of x in the given equation. So we want to find out what value can I add to this rational value. So what can I add to this fraction, and it equals this. So if I want to isolate f of x, I need to take this quantity and move it to the opposite side. Right now it's positive, so to move it over, you're going to subtract it. 3x minus 1 over, and before I write this down, I'm going to factor this. So what multiplies to equal negative 3 and combines to give you 2 would be x plus 3 and x minus 1. We don't need to do bottoms up because the leading coefficient is 1. Now when I move this over, again it's positive, so it becomes negative. And I'm going to factor the bottom. It factors into x plus 3 and x minus 3. Now I need to have a common denominator. So when I look just in the denominator positions, I can see they both have an x plus 3. So the left-hand side is missing an x minus 3. So let's attach an x minus 3. Make sure to put parentheses around everything when you attach the x minus 3. Now they both contain an x minus 3. But the right-hand side needs an x minus 1. So x minus 1, again when you attach it, please put parentheses around the original, x minus 1. Okay, so now I have a common denominator. It's x plus 3, x minus 1, and x minus 3. The order you write them in does not matter. So on top, I'm going to come back to the denominator a little bit later. On top, I have 3x minus 1 times x minus 3, subtract x plus 4 and x minus 1, and that's all over x minus 3, x minus 1, and x plus 3. Now, a common mistake may be for students to think you can start canceling right away. Can't do that. The next step is going to be I'm going to FOIL the left-hand side, I'm going to FOIL the right-hand side, and then I'm going to distribute this negative sign before combining like terms. Remember, FOIL stands for front, outside, inside, last. So I'm going to FOIL this portion, multiplying the fronts, the outsides, the insides, and the last. I'm going to FOIL the second part, multiplying the front, the outside, the inside, and the last part. So as I write this down, nothing is changing about the first bracket, but in the second bracket, when you distribute a negative sign, everything is going to change signs. What was negative becomes positive and vice versa. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 3x squared minus 1x squared is 2x squared. Okay, then I have negative 10x and negative 3x, which is negative 13x. And positive 3 and positive 4 is a positive 7. Okay, so there is a misconception here as well. It's easy for students to go, yeah, you can factor this because 2 times 7 is 14. So what multiplies to give you positive 14 and combines to give you negative 13? So don't write this down, but the first thought by a lot of students would be negative 14 and positive 1. And that would work if I was going to try to get a negative 13. But these two values do not multiply to give you a positive 14. So this is not factorable, so I leave it like it is. And then the denominator is x minus 3, x minus 1, and x plus 3. Excluded values, we have 3 in this case, 3, 1, and negative 3.